Raymond Winsky served in the Army Air Corps during World War II. He entered the service in 1942 and served stateside during the war and was discharged in 1946.
Tell me your name.
Raymond Winsky.
And where are you from?
Originally from Kansas City.
And tell me about how you entered the U.S. military.
Well, when I was 19 years old, I lived in Detroit, Michigan, and I joined the Army Air Corps as an aviation cadet.
And so, since you weren't drafted, what made you join the Army Air Corps?
I wanted to fly. And I wanted to join the crowd.
Well, good.
The war was starting, and they needed people.
So once you entered the service, where did you go for your training?
Keesler Field, Mississippi.
And what was? Tell me about that.
That was basic training.
Mm-hmm.
That was an experience.
Mm-hmm. What do you remember about that?
Sand fleas,
mm-hmm.
heat, humidity, and but I enjoyed it.
Well, good. And then after that, where did they send you?
Went to college training detachment at Gettysburg, Pennsylvania.
Okay. And tell me about what you did there.
Well, first of all, we went to school there learning navigation and brushing us up on English and whatever. And we took a lot of physical training there. We ran 6 miles a day, and we were all pretty excited too. We were young and ready to go.
Mm-hmm. So when they're teaching you about navigation, what are you learning? The types of aircraft?
Nothing about it. Nothing about type aircraft. It's
just
wind drift and compass headings and things like that.
Okay. And then once your school was finished,
went to Classification Center in Nashville, Tennessee.
Okay. Tell me about that.
Well, we weren't there too long. That's where they washed me out, and I went to armament school from there and became Air Corps unassigned. I went to armament school at Buckley Field, Colorado, at Denver. Learned about bomb racks and machine guns and synchronizing machine guns through propellers and things like that.
Now, when you got to before you got to Colorado, did they transport you by a train or?
Train, yes.
Train. Mm-hmm. And you remember being on the train?
Yes.
Well,
troop train.
Yeah. A lot of troop guys on there.
A lot of people.
Yep.
And from there we went to Chico, California, and there was about 4 of us, so it was just we went on a bus to there.
Okay.
And we weren't there very long. That was a hot place to be. From there we went to did I say Lemoore, Colorado? Lemoore?
Not yet.
Okay, from that was Lemoore, Colorado, or Lemoore. And then from there we went to Chico, California.
And what was your job at each base? I mean,
maintaining the armament on fighter planes. Mm-hmm. That's where they train pilots for strafing and dogfighting and what have you. And so we maintained the machine guns, and we didn't have any bombers, so bomb racks didn't get into that at all.
Did many of these pilots that were training out there head off to the war?
Yes.
Did you get to be friends with any of them or get to know them?
No, I didn't get to know any of the pilots. We saw a few things. One time a pilot came in and his nose gear wasn't working, and so he let it coast off into the fence, and he was scared to death. It was an experience. One of our workers got caught in a propeller. There were some bad things, but we had I had a good time in Chico.
Yeah. What kind of aircraft?
We had P-39s, and then we got P-38s.
Were those pretty neat?
Yeah. P-39. On P-39s, a machine gun shot through the propeller.
Wow.
But the propeller shot the machine gun. You just engaged it. They had 20-millimeter cannon that shot through the nose of the propeller.
And then, did you remain in California, or did you?
No, from there we went back to Lowry Field back in Colorado, and we took more training. And I think the war was kind of winding down, so they were just kind of shuffling us around. From there, I went to Panama City, Florida, and that's where I was discharged from.
Okay. What was Lowry Field like?
It was more permanent than Buckley. Buckley was just tar paper shacks, and it was a temporary, just for the wartime. Lowry Field, I think Buckley Field's probably closed, I don't know. But Lowry Field was more of a permanent base. I had friends out at Burlington, Colorado, and occasionally I'd get a chance to go out there. And I was discharged, of course, from
Panama City.
Panama City.
What was the base down in Panama City?
What was the name of the base? Why do I not remember that?
Well, that's okay. And was your job the same as it was in California and Colorado?
No. When I got to Panama City, Florida, I got into the transportation unit, driving. I drove trucks for the Army. We took care of the trucks and the Jeeps, and I drove a truck around over the base and wherever they wanted me to go.
What was the mindset of the soldiers back then, serving during the war?
I guess just winning the war and getting out and getting back home.
Did you have any other family members serving at the same time as you?
My brother was in the Navy.
Were you able to keep in touch with him?
Yeah, we got a letter back and forth once in a while. He was in the Pacific Theater.
In the Pacific. And so once you were discharged, you went back. Where did you go back to?
Detroit.
Detroit.
I was working for Chrysler Corporation when I went in, and I went back for a while, and then I wanted to had a little adventurous spirit, so I got into the truck driving.
And what kind of reception did your family give you once you got out of the service?
Well, they were happy to see us home.
And did your dad serve?
World War I.
World War I.
He was in the Navy in World War I.
Okay. And you didn't want to go into the Navy, or
no? I wanted to go into the Army Air Corps.
Army Air Corps.
So I joined before I got drafted.
Okay. Anything about serving that stands out to you?
Nothing in particular. I just did what they told me and went where they told me, where they sent me.
Was the food good at each base?
Most of the time, especially at Gettysburg. They served us royally there. I was going to be an officer, but that never happened. But we had a cook there that was a chef at one of the hotels in Philadelphia. So we had wonderful food. And most of the food was pretty good. I never complained about it. I never had any reason to.
Do you remember how much you were paid back?
Started out $21 a month.
$21 a month. And of course, back then was that pretty good?
That was pretty good. All you needed.
Yeah. They
furnished all your clothing and your food and what have you. So, and I never had anything spent it on. I didn't drink or smoke or anything, so I didn't. All I needed was some toothpaste once in a while, toothbrush. They furnished all the rest.
So you're 90 years old, and you're a veteran of World War II. Tell me how that makes you feel, knowing that you served with what's called the greatest generation.
Well, I was proud to be a soldier, and I was proud to be an American. Unfortunately, times have changed. America has changed, and not for the better. But back then we had a lot of patriotism. Everybody loved their country, and everybody was for America.
And you have any questions? Anything else you want to tell us about your service?
No, I was in for 32 months, and I was proud to be a soldier and proud to be an American, and but I was glad to get out too. I didn't care much for the strict discipline, and I don't guess any of them did. We were young and didn't have a whole lot of wisdom. So when I got out of the service, I went back to Chrysler.
Do you know if many of the men that you served, that you went to high school with, you know if any of them got killed in World War II?
Oh yeah, several of them. One of them got killed in an airplane crash in training, and several of them got killed on the battlefield. My cousin was killed in the Navy. My brother would have been, but the torpedo that hit his ship was a dud.
Wow. A lot of sacrifice for our country.
Yes. A lot of them gave their go. They would turn over in their grave if they could see what's happening to our country.
Well, we're really proud of your service, and glad we can capture your story. We just want to thank you for doing this interview with us.
Well, I appreciate the opportunity.
Yep. Thanks.